Alright, this is another episode of Fitness Dummy, and I'm going to talk about my experience with low-carb diets. And low-carb diets work until they don't. But you'll see what I mean by that, because some people, all the low-carbers out there might be like, hey man, what are you talking about? Low-carb, it always works, but for continued fat loss, it might stop after a while. Here's my experience with low-carb. I used to weigh 230 pounds, and I got down to pretty much like 185, 190 just by doing low carb, no exercise or nothing. That's like 45 pounds lost. So it's pretty cool, actually. I mean, low carb works because basically what it does is it gets all your hormones in check. It makes it to where you're burning fat for fuel. I mean, being low carb is good. I think it's definitely healthier for you. And there's a lot of debate about, oh, well, eating all that meat and fat's bad. And the only reason I would say that is because just in today's society, all the meat is so processed and, injected with hormones, and how they're raised is really inhumane. I mean, I'm all for like hunting, like going out and actually hunting and getting your own meat, and maybe animals that actually kind of have more of a natural life. This is way out of context. I digress. But more of, I lost a lot of weight and it worked really good. But then I noticed that I got to a point where I kind of just stopped. I mean, I got to a couple points where I just kind of stopped, but you get to your plateaus. But then I kind of just got to a plateau of 190 pounds, 185, and I just kind of stayed there. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, I mean, low carb works. It really does. But for a continued fat loss, I think I'm going to have to throw in some other variables in there to kind of, you know, make a catalyst. And also, just really quick, you might want to do, I noticed that, having a lot of what made me like break through my plateaus is I would have carb refeed days. I would just cheat. One day I'd be like, man, this is so depressing. And then I would, eat, and then I would just be like, oh no, and then I go right back on it. And then from there on, I would actually start losing weight again. So actually having a cheat day once in a while might not be a bad idea. And another thing I'm going to experiment with is intermittent fasting. I'm sure everybody's heard all about it in the 8-hour diet. And there's a lot of people out there that have kind of pioneered intermittent fasting. There's all kinds of different versions too. So basically what I kind of want to do with this channel is it's Fitness Dummy, and the dummy comes from me being a test dummy, and I want to test this out on myself and then show everyone. So because it's really kind of frustrating for people to really start on a diet because there's so many different diets to choose from. So that's kind of why you can kind of see it work for yourself, and then you can kind of emulate it if you see results that you like. So that's what I'm going to do. And then you may know what not to do also. So that's pretty much why I'm doing this channel. But yeah, if you want to lose weight, go low carb, Atkins induction, go for it. You will lose weight. But you will eventually get to a couple plateaus, and you may get to a very big plateau. Like, you may stay there for a very long time, and from there it's kind of, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again and you don't get any more results, you have to change a variable in there somewhere, or you're not going to get anything. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to get anywhere. So that's what progress is all about, is changing, little things to get farther and farther, so you eventually become a better person, become smarter, and you do things more effectively. And that's why I am probably going to experiment with intermittent fasting. See, I haven't really exercised either, but I don't want to exercise because I just don't think, because exercise makes you hungry, but it also does a lot of different things with your hormones, which, I mean, it's not, I will exercise once in a while, but not enough. I do exercise, but not enough to call myself an avid exerciser. I mean, I'm kind of an active person, but I don't really, take a fitness regimen. And I think I'm going to that's going to be another one of my experiments. So, yeah, that'll be fun.